What if ancient civilizations such as the Egyptians and the Tibetans were correct about being able to beat death and one day come back? Not just as a new person with some fleeting memories of a past life, but you, in a new body, a continuation from one life to the next. From the moment you were born, you were bursting to tell people about your past life, but cannot form the words. Sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? But there are hundreds, maybe thousands of cases like this reported across the world. Many of them were discovered and studied by the late Dr. Ian Stevenson. Dr. Stevenson was a pioneer in psychiatry and researcher on reincarnation and past life memories. His work continues to influence studies in those fields through successors like Dr. Jim Tucker. In this two-part video, we will look into two cases that could prove death is not the end, and for some of us, an unbroken chain from one life to the next. Cameron McCauley, a 6-year-old boy from Glasgow, was featured in a 2006 Channel 5 documentary called The Boy Who Lived Before. Cameron has vivid memories of a past life on the island of Barra in the Outer Hebrides, Scotland.
Since Cameron first started to talk, he has described life as a child on Barra, a remote island in Scotland's Outer Hebrides.
I lived in the White House with my mum and dad and my 3 brothers and sisters.
From the age of 2, Cameron has been telling his family the same story. As he's grown older, the story hasn't changed. It's just become more detailed. Norma could not understand how Cameron knew about Barra, let alone have such clear memories of life on the island.
At first I just thought, oh, he's making things up. And then I was thinking, how does he know the name Barra? Why is it Barra where none of us have been or have any connection with?
My favourite place in Barra was the beach, and I took my dog with me and I play with him and my brothers and sisters to play.
He used to say, I'm a Barra boy, I'm a Barra boy.
Shane Robertson.
Shane Robertson?
Yes.
So who was Shane Robertson again?
A Barra dad.
A Barra dad.
Cameron's uncle, Ian Watson, initially dismissed his nephew's stories as fantasy, but as time passed, they became harder to explain away.
It's just the fact that he's just consistent in, the things that he's saying and the story that he keeps coming up with. And over the 3 years, he's never wavered from it.
In the past 40 years, there have been reports of over 3,000 children who claim to have memories of another life. At the University of Virginia, a department has been set up to investigate these stories. Psychiatrist Dr. Jim Tucker is the director of research.
So this is a worldwide phenomenon. It takes place in places and families with a belief in reincarnation and places and families without a belief in reincarnation. And in a number of the cases, the child's statements have been verified to be accurate.
He talks about falling through from Barra to here. I asked him, how did you get here? And he just talks about, I was in Barra and I fell through to you. And I'm saying, what do you mean? And he'll say, no, it was just like a hole and I fell through, and that's all he says. We are going to go to Barra. I mean, it wasn't a decision that was made lightly. I've gave it an awful lot of thought, stood up to an awful lot of folk that were against me doing it, and I just hope I proved them that I was right to do what I've done.
Norma and her sons Martin and Cameron are leaving Glasgow to fly to Barra, an island in the Outer Hebrides of Scotland, where Cameron believes that he lived in a previous life.
Not with my bag on.
They are being accompanied by psychiatrist Dr. Jim Tucker, an expert in children's past life memories. Cameron believes that his family name was Robertson and that he lived in a big white house, a house full of children. He says he had a black and white dog, there was a view from the house to the sea, and that they could see planes land, not on a runway, but on the beach. Could any of these apparent memories correspond to reality?
The planes must have landed on the beach.
You okay? Yeah, good boy.
Well, we're certainly off to a good start. I mean, he feels that he recognizes the place. He said to his brother, I told you it was true, and he's very excited about being here. Very excited. If we can verify his statements, it'll be a great case. Looks like a place that doesn't change too rapidly, so hopefully he'll be able to recognize some things.
Feel happy to be back.
Leaving the airport, they board the bus to drive to the hotel, and they get their first look at the island.
Mummy, well, you might see my house on the way.
I know, we're trying to see if we can see it.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Norma, pleased to meet you.
Callum McNeil is the island's local historian.
Tucker.
Callum McNeil.
Nice to meet you.
Certainly the names don't immediately come to my mind. Certainly the name Robertson does feature, but certainly not the name Shane. And the name Robertson itself only features occasionally in the history of the islands.
There doesn't seem to be any evidence that a family called Robertson lived in a house by the shore. Could Cameron be wrong about the name, but right about the house?
I could see the beach when I looked out the window, and sometimes my brothers and sisters could go by themselves, and I looked out my window seeing the planes land on the beach.
Since he's talked about the planes landing and talked about phones, what sort of era would that put him in?
More than likely after the war.
After?
More than likely after the war.
And since he's talked about the plane landing and seeing that, we're probably thinking of a family toward the north end.
Oh, yes, I would say so.
It's not much to go on, but they set out on a trail back to the north end of the island.
I thought he was fine, but I don't know about him. I was starting to feel anxious and saying, well, I hope he does recognise something for his sake and probably for my own, because I'm desperately looking for answers as well.
They have driven past many of the houses on the island, most of them white, some near the sea. But Cameron recognises none of them. Later that day, they go for a walk on the beach. The adults may be disappointed, but Cameron is happy just being on the island.
He's delirious about being here, and at one point he actually said to me, is my face shiny? Is it red? Is it shiny? I'm just so happy. And he keeps saying to Martin, see, I told you, it's not lies, it's true, we're really here, it's real.
Apart from the planes that land on the beach, there has been no other link between Cameron's memory and the island. There is no white house above rock pools with a view of the beach where the planes land. No black and white dog. No family Robertson. They return to the hotel. The trail has gone cold. But next morning, they receive a phone call from Callum McNeil at the Heritage Centre. He wants to speak to them urgently. He has some new information.
Phone call today informed me that there were people living with the name Robertson on the north end of the island, in a house by the shore. That's a white house by the shore. Couldn't get much closer to the shore.
Callum's records were only for properties owned by islanders, but the Robertsons were from the mainland.
And when were they there?
60s, 70s, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we know exactly which house it was. We'd be able to go see it.
Sunderland.
Directions to the house take them down a different road to the ones they had been searching before. Jim and Norma don't tell Cameron where they're going. They don't want to influence his reaction or disappoint him. They follow a small coastal track. The house comes into view as they turned the final corner.
What's wrong? A wee bit. You alright? Is this your house? No, you get sad. Is this your house? Yeah? It's okay. Does it make me feel a wee bit sad?
The usually chatty Cameron has become strangely subdued. Just below the house, there are rock pools, and there is a gate to the beach.
There's a gate round there. They said that was the secret way. They called it the secret way onto the house. He's just saying he's excited, but he's sad as well. Can we come in? We set a fire like that, haven't we? You okay?
Although much of the furniture and decor is recent, some of the features of the house, like the open fire, have remained unchanged for decades.
I could see the beach when I looked out the window, and something my brothers and sisters could go crawl by themselves, and I looked out my window and I saw them playing.
The girls were in this room,
Yes,
and the boys were in the other room.
yes.
You've got me, haven't you?
You about ready to go back home now? Yeah. Well, it's been quite an interesting trip. I mean, we came here with a name and a description of a house, which was not very much to go on. And we found that, in fact, there was a family here, and that, in fact, they had a house in the right location and the right appearance of what we were looking for. At this point, the investigation remains inconclusive, but we've got some very solid leads to go on, and we should be able to find out the details of this Robertson family to see if, in fact, they do match with what Cameron has been saying.
After leaving the island, the documentary production team tracked down a living Robertson that would have been a child at around the time they think Cameron was on the island in his past life. She confirmed many other aspects of Cameron's past life memories, such as there being a black and white dog.
I played in the beach and took my dog and played fetch with my dog at the beach.
But she also states she knows nothing of a father figure called Shane. The vast majority of Cameron's story is extremely accurate, and this calls into question, how could Cameron, at 2 years old, know anything about an island over 200 miles away? A white house, a view to the beach where the planes land, the family name, Robertson, a black and white dog. How could he know all these things if he wasn't reincarnated? And what does that mean for all of us? Do we move from one life to the next, but only some of us can remember our past lives? Or are there only a chosen few that transverse from one existence to the next? Maybe that question can be answered in the second part of this video series, where we will be looking at the extraordinary story of Tauran Singh, who, like Cameron, started talking about his past life as soon as he could form words. We will also be looking at birthmarks and the relationship to past life trauma.